I'm a 24-year-old guy, and I never imagined my marriage would end like this. My wife, who's 23 now, and I had been together for almost 4 years. We got married young, just under 2 years ago, and like most young couples, we thought love would be enough to carry us through. We built a life together, quiet, modest, filled with little routines. I went to work every day, and she stayed home with our pets, a couple of cats, and our German shepherds. That was our life, and I thought it was solid. Then came the day everything shattered. It was a normal weekday, and I was on my lunch break at work. I was sitting in my car, eating something quick and scrolling through my phone when she called. She sounded strange, quiet, hesitant. At first, I thought something was wrong with one of the pets, or maybe something had happened at home, but nothing could have prepared me for what came out of her mouth. She told me she was in love with another man. I don't remember the exact words she used. Everything after that felt like a blur, like I had been hit by a truck I never saw coming. One minute I was eating lunch and thinking about finishing the workday, and the next I was drowning in a wave of disbelief. I didn't yell. I didn't ask questions. I didn't beg. I just hung up. My hands were shaking as I clocked out early. I couldn't even think straight, but I knew I had to go home. I had driven her car to work that day because mine was acting up, so I called her to let her know I was coming to return it. Her voice on the other end of the phone was surprised, almost confused. She didn't expect me to come home. Maybe she thought I'd just accept it and move on with my day. But how do you just go back to work after hearing something like that? When I got home, I pulled into the driveway and just sat there for a moment. The house we shared together, our home, looked the same, but everything inside of me felt completely different. I walked in and saw her sitting there, avoiding eye contact. I didn't scream or cry. I just looked at her and told her to leave. That was it. In that moment, all the years we spent building a relationship collapsed like a house of cards. I didn't care about the details. I didn't want to know who the guy was, how long it had been going on, or why she did it. Maybe I was afraid to hear the answers. Maybe I just couldn't handle the truth yet. All I knew was that the person I trusted most in the world had betrayed me, and I needed her gone. The hours after that were a blur. I remember sitting in the dark not knowing what to do next. I kept thinking about the little things, how we used to stay up late watching shows, how she always forgot to turn off the bathroom light, how she laughed at my stupid jokes. It all felt like a cruel joke now. How could she go from that to falling in love with someone else? What was missing? What did I do wrong? But no answers came, just silence, just pain. People talk about heartbreak like it's just an emotion, but it's more than that. It's physical. My chest actually hurt. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. I kept wondering if it was a dream, if I'd wake up and everything would be fine. But I didn't wake up. This was real. This was the beginning of the end. And in that first moment, when she confessed her love for someone else, part of me shut down. I think I knew then that no matter what happened next, whether we talked, argued, or tried to fix it, something fundamental had already been broken. And no amount of time or talking could put it back the way it was. The days that followed were a mess of emotions. Rage, heartbreak, confusion, and a stupid lingering sense of hope I couldn't shake. After I told her to leave that day, I thought that would be it. Cut and dry. Done. But it wasn't. We started texting again almost immediately. At first, it was nothing but short, sharp jabs, arguments, blame, accusations flying both ways. But in between the venom, something else kept slipping through. Sadness, regret, familiarity. Even in anger, we couldn't hide the fact that we missed each other. Looking back, I don't know what I was expecting. Closure, an apology, some kind of magical fix to undo what had already been done. All I know is that we kept talking, and with each text, the lines started to blur. We were arguing one minute, then reminiscing the next. She told me she missed me. I told her I didn't know what I was doing without her. It was like trying to grab smoke, nothing solid, but it still filled the room. A day later, she came over. I was nervous to see her, but I couldn't help it. I wanted answers. I wanted her to tell me it was a mistake, that it wasn't serious, that she didn't mean it when she said she loved someone else. And at first, she gave me that way. She looked me in the eyes and swore nothing happened between them. I said it was just emotional, just confusion, that they never hooked up, that she hadn't crossed that line, and I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her so badly. For a few minutes, I let myself imagine that maybe, just maybe, we could fix this, that we could hit reset and start over. I was sitting there, vulnerable and raw, holding onto this sliver of hope, and then she stepped outside to go to her car. She stayed out there for a while. I watched her from the window, talking on the phone, pacing, gesturing, clearly upset. I didn't know who she was talking to, but I had a pretty good idea. When she came back in, everything changed. Her face was different, harder, colder. She sat down and told me the truth. She had lied. She did hook up with the guy. She had slept with him. Whatever fantasy I had about saving our marriage died right there, mid-sentence, in my own living room. I couldn't even react properly. I felt numb, like my brain had stopped processing things in real time. She kept talking, trying to explain, to soften the blow, but all I could hear was white noise. I had asked her to tell me the truth, and she did. But the truth didn't set me free. It destroyed me. I told her to leave again. This time, my voice cracked. I was choked up fighting tears that I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of seeing. I told her she really did put me back where she found me, broken, lost, alone. When we first met, I was in a rough place, and she had been my light. She had helped me rebuild. Now, she was the one tearing it all down. After she left, the silence in the house was deafening. The same walls that once held laughter and late-night conversations now felt like they were closing in on me. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, wondering how I ended up here, wondering why I ever believed I was enough for her. I thought love was supposed to mean something. I thought vows mattered. I thought if you were loyal, honest, and tried your best, that would be enough to keep someone. But none of it was. She still left. She still chose someone else, and she lied to me. Twice. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying to understand how love could turn so ugly. I kept replaying everything she said, every moment we'd shared, trying to pinpoint the moment it all went wrong. But I couldn't find it. There wasn't one clear moment, just a slow unraveling that I didn't see until it was too late. In the end, her confession didn't bring peace. It only deepened the wound. And yet, part of me still wanted to text her, still wanted to hear her voice, still wanted to find a way to undo it all. That was the worst part. After her confession, everything inside me started to rot. I couldn't eat, could barely sleep. My chest ached like someone was sitting on it, and no matter how much I tried to breathe through it, the pain just stayed. The heartbreak wasn't emotional anymore. It had become physical. It was in my ribs, my stomach, my throat. She had moved on. She had chosen someone else. And still, there I was, sitting alone in the home we made together, mourning something that clearly meant less to her than it did to me. At some point, I stopped trying to understand. I gave up on waiting for more apologies or explanations. What could she possibly say that would make it better? Sorry, it was a mistake. That doesn't undo the betrayal. That doesn't erase the image in my head of her being with someone else while I was at work, providing, clueless, proud to call her my wife. I spent a few nights numbing the pain the only way I could, drinking. I'd lie in bed with a bottle, staring at the ceiling or the wall, letting myself sink into that miserable darkness. I wasn't even trying to feel better anymore. I just didn't want to feel anything at all. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face. Every time I opened them, I saw her things around the house mocking me. And one day, I snapped. I was tired of the ache in my chest, tired of feeling like a ghost in my own home, tired of her presence lingering like a poison in every corner of the place we once called ours. So I got up, grabbed trash bags, and started throwing her stuff out. Clothes, makeup, shoes, little trinkets she'd left behind. Gone. I tossed it all. I didn't want reminders anymore. If she didn't care about this life, why the hell should I hold on to the pieces of it? It was a rage-fueled purge, and for a brief moment, it felt good. It felt like reclaiming something, like taking back control. But as the bags piled up, so did the guilt and the sadness. I didn't want to be this person. I didn't want to be bitter or broken, but the truth was, I was broken. I had spent days competing for love that she had already given away. I felt stupid, gullible, like the last one to realize I'd been played. Then came the final visit. She texted to say she was coming by to get her things, this time for real. But she didn't come alone. She brought one of her friends and her parents, like I was some kind of threat, like I was the bad guy in the story. I had no intention of causing drama. I just wanted it over with. She also wanted the engagement ring back. I refused. Not because I was trying to be petty, but because I bought that ring. I had a receipt. It was part of my bankruptcy claim, part of my financial reality. She didn't return it. She left it. There's a difference. She abandoned everything when I told her to leave. And I wasn't about to hand over something so symbolic, something that used to represent our future together. Not after what she did. She called the cops. Yeah, seriously. But when they showed up, there wasn't much they could do. It was a civil matter, not criminal. I let them in and we all stood awkwardly in the dining room while she stomped around the house, grabbing what she wanted. Her parents avoided eye contact. Her friend tried to act like she wasn't judging me. And I just stood there, silent, numb, watching the woman I once planned a life with throw her own memories into boxes like they were nothing. Before she left, she grabbed a stuffed animal I must have missed when I cleared her things out. It was such a small, stupid moment, but it hit me. Watching her walk out, clutching that stuffed toy, pretending she still had some shred of dignity, made her look ridiculous. Not strong, not justified, just small. And that was it. The last scene of our story, no big confrontation, no last-minute apology, just her walking out with a box, a friend, her parents, and a stuffed animal. I closed the door behind her, and for the first time in weeks, the house was silent. And somehow, that silence hurt worse than everything else. After she left that night, the house felt emptier than ever. It wasn't just the absence of her things, it was the absence of everything we used to be. The quiet wasn't peaceful, it was cold, echoing with memories I didn't want anymore. The laughter, the arguments, the routines, it was all gone, but still somehow haunting every room. She didn't have to work. That's what gets me. I supported her so she could stay home, take care of the house, be with the cats and the German shepherds. I was proud to do it. I believed that was part of being a good husband, providing, making sacrifices. And while I was out there grinding through workdays, fighting stress and exhaustion, she was falling in love with someone else. Why would you cheat on that? I keep asking myself that question. Like if I repeat it enough, the answer will appear. But nothing comes. I guess some people just don't value loyalty the same way. Maybe comfort got boring. Maybe I wasn't exciting enough. Maybe the fact that I wasn't great at expressing myself emotionally made her feel neglected, even if I was giving everything I could in other ways. I'll own that flaw. I've never been good with vulnerability, but I never hurt her. I never disrespected her. I never gave her a reason to doubt my love, and yet here I am, left behind, blindsided, trying to piece together a life she walked away from without looking back. What hurts the most isn't even the cheating. It's how easily she gave up, how little effort she put into fixing things before running into someone else's arms. I was willing to work through it. I would have gone to therapy, changed my habits, whatever it took. But she didn't want that. She wanted something new, something exciting, something that didn't come with responsibilities or history. Now, I'm stuck trying to heal in a house full of ghosts. I still feel stupid, gullible, like I was the only one who really believed in forever. But I've stopped waiting for closure. There's nothing left to say. She made her choice, and I finally started making mine. I'm moving on. It won't be easy. Some days I still wake up hoping it was all a nightmare. Some nights I still reach for her out of habit, but piece by piece I'm letting go. I deserve someone who chooses me every day, not someone I have to compete for. And maybe someday when the pain dulls and the memories fade, I'll look back on this not as the worst thing that ever happened to me, but as the thing that made me stronger.